So for the first week, what you need to do is kind of familiarize yourself with Canvas. And the only links that I have set up on the left are links that we'll use in this course. Any extra ones I've hidden. So the home link is where you'll go when you first enter the course and if you want to attend live stream office hours or the live stream class. And then you can just click the button and it'll take you right there. You'll see the last announcement at the top, which you're going to have to click on to fully read. And then if you wanted to see all the announcements, you can click the announcement button. You could also use the announcement command on the left. The other quick links that I have here are for our social media, where we post job opportunities and internships and any events or activities that are going on. At the bottom of the screen, I have some course resource links that just provide additional resources if there's anything that you have questions about. Okay. The syllabus you're going to need to read through because there is a syllabus quiz that you're going to have to complete. And so you can kind of read through here what materials we're using, what our learning outcomes are. And learning outcomes are just broad objectives, basically stating in general terms what you're going to learn. And it doesn't get super specific. They're more broad-based. And then what you're probably interested in is how you're going to be graded. So you are graded on percentage in here. You want to get as many points as possible. And all of the assignments, all of the tests, all of the discussion, pretty much everything we do in class is worth points. So that is how you accumulate points in this class. As far as the due dates go, there are several places you can see the due dates. Most students go into modules because that is how Canvas organizes classes. And within each module, you will see the assignment and the due date and the number of points it is worth. Okay, that's one place to look, and that is where most students will look. The other place you can look is grades, because grades does have due dates. And once you submit something, you will see like there's a little piece of paper next to it. And then once I grade it, then you will see a grade here. And you will also see a comment here, which you can click on and read. Let's see, the third place you can see what the due dates are is if you go into calendar and you select agenda. Okay, and then you'll notice that once you've submitted things, they will be crossed off. And let's see, Smart Search is, it allows you to search for anything within this course. Vital Source course materials is one way to access your book. And then in addition to the regular syllabus, we do have a college syllabus. So I encourage you to read through both of those. And as far as our syllabus goes, there is a quiz on it. And there may be questions on the quiz from the college syllabus too, so make sure you have read through both. As of right now, I just have the one module open, but I will be opening the second one over the weekend. So for those of you that finished the first one and you want to get a little head start, you'll be able to. And the way that I kind of organize each week is there is an overview at the top. And it basically outlines everything that we're going to complete for that week. And the first week, there are a couple more items than normal because we've got some housekeeping tasks like reading the syllabus and doing that kind of thing. Okay. Um, so this is everything that is due the first week. Okay? And you can certainly print that out and cross things off the list as you complete them. The syllabus quiz, you can take as many times as necessary to get all of the points. Okay? And the way I've set testing up is that each attempt builds on the previous one. So if you miss a couple points, you're only going to have to redo the questions you missed. So retaking tests in this class is only going to improve your score. The online or the orientation discussion forum is for you guys to get to know each other. And I also used it as an opportunity to introduce myself. We have quite a few students that are taking this as online. And then we also have students that are in the live stream. And so this is a way for you guys to become familiar with everybody that's in the class. And this link should give you access to the ebook. And then we have our reading assignment. So each week we have a reading assignment. Sometimes we do not read the entire chapter. I wrote this ebook and I linked out the examples and the programming assignment to keep the cost down. So for the links, you'll see them when you get into the book. But I will show you, let's see. If you're on campus, some of the students have had issues accessing things that are linked out. So you'll notice that I have a section called materials linked into the ebook, and these are the links that are in that chapter. I've uploaded them. So if you do have trouble accessing the link, you can certainly access that same material from here, okay, including the lab assignment. And let's see, the understanding check. So this understanding check, there's one for every chapter, and it just makes sure that you understand what you read. And the questions are in lots of different formats. They're not just true, false, multiple choice. They mimic the question formats that the CIT students will see on our certification exams. So it helps you get used to answering different question types. So just like the syllabus quiz, you can do these an unlimited number of times. Okay, and if you do an understanding check and you don't understand why you got something wrong, please reach out and ask because I will explain it to you. Once you finish that, we need to set up your coding environment. And there are different instructions for PC users and Mac users. So PC users do have it a little easier than Mac. So Mac users are going to install VS Code. And the problem with VS Code is it does not come with the packages needed to write C# code. So you have to install them. So it's a little bit more work. Visual Studio Community is for PC users, and it comes with everything you need. Okay. So I do have some directions in here on installing for PC users and for Mac users. And for PC users, there is a video explanation, but you'll download Visual Studio Community 2022, and then these are the workloads that you are going to want to install. And I think one of them, they have updated the name of the workload. So just kind of beware. I think this is the update here. So but these are the ones that you want. And then these instructions walk you through how to create a project. And all of your programs are housed inside projects. So you need to walk through this to make sure that your installation was done correctly. Okay. And for Mac users, here's a video for you to follow. And then you will be downloading Visual Studio Code. And you will need to install the C# development kit, also .NET and C# extensions. Now, for the system development kit, the only way that I could get that downloaded and installed was to do it from inside Visual Studio. There is a link at the directions here. When you read through installing Visual Studio Code, there are directions. And this tells you exactly what you need to install. Okay, so as you read through here, this tells you what you need to install. Okay, and that's really as far as you need to go. I mean, you don't need to install any more than the basics here for working in C#. Okay. And then for me, to get this SDK installed, I actually had to do it from inside Visual Studio. I had to click on Install .NET SDK. So I clicked here, getting started with .NET. I clicked here, and then it installed correctly. Prior to that, when I downloaded it and tried to install, it didn't work. Okay. And then this is super important for Mac users. You need to walk through creating a project using VS Code. Okay. And this actually walks you through how to create a project, okay, and how to run it to make sure that it works. Okay. So if you have any problems, please reach out. Even though it's a holiday weekend, I will be checking my email and I am happy to help you guys if you run into any problems or issues. And that brings me to the lab assignment. So the lab assignment is 2 exercises. And I do have videos that walk you through each one. But you're basically going to copy this code and you'll paste it into your program CS file. So you're going to have to create a new project. You'll have a program CS file. You'll copy and paste the code, and then you're going to do what it says. Okay? So it's create a string variable named empname, set it equal to your name. You'll put that right in here. Okay? And the video kind of walks you through that. And here's an example of what it would look like in Visual Studio. And then here's an example of what it'll look like in VS Code. Now with VS Code, keep in mind that you have themes that you can install. So your color scheme may look very different than mine. I tend to like lighter themes. So your color scheme could be completely different, but the code should look like mine. Okay, and then here's exercise 2. And for this one, I've kind of listed out the variables you need to create, the data types they are, and then you will assign whatever values you want. Okay, so you can set this up pretty much the same way that we did this one. Okay, it's just that the variable names are going to be a little different and the data types are. Okay, and then once you have assigned all those values, you are going to use console.writeLine to display them back. And I do have examples here as well in each of the different IDEs, so you can kind of see what that looks like. Okay, and after you submit them, your screen is going to look something like this. Okay, and it'll show you what you've submitted. Now, there's a couple different ways you can turn this in. What you're going to first see if you've never submitted anything is it's going to ask you to choose a submission type. So you can upload the files or you can copy and paste the text. Okay? It does not matter to me which one you do. If you upload the file, you need to upload the C# file. So if you choose upload, you have to find it on your system. And then you can kind of drag it to the rocket ship. Okay, and where it's located, and this is for PC users, it's under your C drive, users, your username, source, and repos, which is short for repository. And then you have to find the file. I'm just going to kind of grab a random one here. Okay, so I went into the project. Let me show you that again. Here's the project, going into the project. Okay, and it is the program CS file. That is the C# file. You can just drag that over here and release it and submit. Now, you might be thinking, well, what's it going to do when I do the next one and that has a program CS file, right? Because this is a completely different exercise. Well, Canvas is smart enough to know that they're different. So it changes the name. So you don't have to worry about it replacing your original. Okay, and then you can just hit submit. Okay, and the other thing that you could do, if you didn't want to do it that way, is you could literally copy and paste right into here. Okay, and then hit submit. So you can turn them in whatever way is easiest for you. And if you do run into problems or if you have questions, let me know. If a program does not run correctly, or if you aren't sure if it's running correctly, copy it, paste it into an email, and send it to me, and I can help you.